Can you hear it? It moves like rolling fog. Can you smell it? It carries on the winds. Do you feel it? It enters subtle but strong like the sun at daybreak. It's okay if you don't, because it's not for everyone. And those who do know why. They answer the same calling. They feel the same connection to those before us and bridge the gap to those who will follow. The soul of the hunter burns in me and burns in my brother. For we are hunters.
Hi, welcome to Days in the Wild, brought to you by the Chevy Silverado and Van Chevrolet. Well, Wyoming has become one of my favorite places to hunt. With an easy draw system, a lot of places to hunt, and excellent game, it's really a mecca for the do-it-yourself hunter to begin an adventure of his own, you know. And if you're looking to do your first do-it-yourself hunt in the western states, Wyoming is a great place to start. Well, this week, it's me, Frank the Tank, and Levi. And Frank and I both have muley and antelope tags. And with any luck, hopefully we'll be able to fill them both. So, stay tuned for the action and see how this hunt unfolds.
Hey, want to kill more bucks? Are you tired of spending hours in a tree hoping a buck will pass by in range? Are you tired of eating a tag sandwich each year? Well then get the system developed by the pros that will guarantee you'll see and kill more deer. The Whitetail Hunter's Blueprint is a culmination of 100 years of experience, tips, tricks, and all put into one system that is suitable for any level of hunter to adapt into their hunting skill set. You will kill more bucks, we guarantee it. If the system doesn't improve your hunting 100%, we will give your money back, no questions asked. But that's not all. If you act now and go to our website to purchase the book, you will get these 2 free gifts: The Secrets of Hunting Western Game, the most comprehensive guide for hunting all major western animals, and 4 free months of online membership at thehuntingchannelonline.com, the most cutting-edge multimedia hunting magazine on the internet. A value of $60 for free, so act now and pick up your copy of the Whitetail Hunter's Blueprint today.
Well, I've been planning this hunt for about 6 months. Because we were going to be hunting a new region, I spent countless hours poring over topos and aerial photos. I even called the game manager to pick his brain a bit. I wanted to try a different area because the last few times we were out, I just couldn't find a really good shooter buck. We saw tons of deer, but never really saw that big, 160 or better buck. And I knew that this region held bigger bucks, but there was a lot more public land. So I ordered an Onyx topo map for my GPS. That way I knew we could stay on public land and not be trespassing. And let me tell you, It's quite a checkerboard in this region, and if you're without it, I can guarantee you I would have been breaking some laws. So I did the research, I was armed with the intel. Now, the journey begins. Well, the journey has begun. Well, it started about 4 o'clock this morning. Getting everything packed up and over here, and we just got to the security line on our way to Wyoming. Flying to Gillette, then we got about an hour and a half drive to Buffalo. We're going to be basically hunting in the Buffalo area. Public land, self-guided. Should be a fun hunt. And a little mule deer. Stick with us. I have a certain urge to start singing La Bamba right now. I don't know why. I remember this last time we were here, I was like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever. We got a big bull elk down the other end too. We must see if we can find a rental bunch.
So we hit the field straight from the plane, and that evening we went and checked out a spot that I had cyber scouted. And it really didn't take us very long until we found some deer.
Misjudged. I thought they were between, because I was looking at the box, and I remember them being to the left of the box, or to the right of the box rather, from that side. But so I thought they were between this pole and that pole, but turns out they were right over there. They were basically between that pole and that pole, right here in that sage. Is where the yellow ends. I mean, heck, from right here where we're standing. It's 100 yards. If we would have popped over there, we would have been 80 yards. I would have been a makeable shot. Hey, first afternoon, we got into some deer. We got into some antelope. I'm happy. You know, it's public land. We're having a hard time finding access, because that's the biggest part. There's a bunch of public land, but it's all landlocked, and it's not like other places where I've hunted before, where the landowners grant you permission to use their roads to access the public land. You can't even use their roads. It's pretty difficult. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of frustrating, because I didn't know this coming into it. Had I known it, I would have did a little bit more research than I did. But well, we know for next time. Anyway, it's first afternoon, and we're making it happen. Well, the first morning, I immediately got us on some bucks. I found 2 younger bucks, but there was something about this buck. Even though he didn't score a whole lot, his antlers were red from just brushing off his velvet, and he had a real handsome face, something about him, I got it in my head. I wanted to try to get this buck, even though it was the first morning. So we made a play for him, and I basically got us snuck into about 200 yards. Well, we were sitting about 200 yards away from this buck, and I'm trying to figure out a way that we can close the distance and intercept them. And out of nowhere, these bucks start running to the left, and I know they can't see us, I know they can't smell us, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. And sure enough, 2 coyote are coming up the draw. It's just my luck. And it's going to be stuff like this that it kind of sets the precedence for this whole trip.
Well, we got back here in this canyon country over here that's kind of parallels the Powderhorn River this morning. We got on a couple of nice bucks actually. We saw quite a few deer, and we were setting up on this really nice buck who just shed his velvet, and we watched him. He was just brooming his antlers in a big juniper and stuff like that. It was really cool to watch, and we were setting up on him, just waiting him out, trying to put him to bed, and coyote came up the canyon and spooked one of the other deer that was with him. There was another younger buck with him, and that younger buck took off, and of course took the big buck with him. So it is what it is. It was a nice sighting, and it was a cool experience. So we're gonna head back to the truck, try to catch a little lunch here, and gonna head out for some antelope.
If I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all. You guys don't believe me. You think I make this stuff up, but seriously, if it could go wrong, it goes wrong for me.
Hi, welcome to the Chevy Silverado at the tailgate segment. This week we're going to talk about bow torque. One little thing that I noticed, or that I learned quite a few years ago, is a little trick to check to see if you're torquing the bow. So if you don't have a torque indicator, like I do on this Bow Sight IQ with the retina lock, this tells me if I'm torquing. Now if you weren't shooting something that had this, or just to double check, or while you're sighting the bow in, a really easy way to do that is to check to see if your string is perfectly in the channel of the cam. So the way you do that is you draw back the bow, and you get set up. You take a quick look up at the cam, and if that is perfectly tracking in the center, you're not torquing the bow. And if you are, you'll see very drastically the difference, because that straight string will give you a perfect line of sight and let you know whether you're torquing the bow or not. Well, I hope you enjoyed that quick little tip. Use it out in the field. Use it while you're sighting in your bow. I promise it'll make you a better shooter. Thanks for joining us. Well, the next morning, I got up full of optimism, even though we had a couple of hiccups the first day. Got us back out into the same area and started looking over some canyon country.
So we got set up at a different spot earlier this morning. We saw a few very nice bucks, a good batch there of the bucks, but we thought they were going to walk towards us onto the public land, but they kept walking on the private land. All we could do was sit back and kind of watch them walk across this field. Pretty heartbreaking. So we just got back into the canyon country now and got set up over here. It's overcast, getting drizzled on a little bit, but just popped over this ridge and there was a few does over here. It's a little chilly. Not gonna lie, I'm a little underdressed. But I think we're gonna have a good morning.
So after looking over this canyon for a bit and only turning up a wide forky horn and a 3x3, I decided to move over to another spot that looked promising. And besides, Levi was polluting the area.
You fart? Did you fart or something?
So we picked up and moved.
And I found a good buck, actually 2 of them. And we decided I was going to make a play for it. So it took me about an hour and a half to circle around, get the wind right, get into position, and I really only needed to get about 10 yards more. I was already within my comfortable shooting distance, but it was a little windy that day and I wanted to close the distance just about 10 more yards. That's all I needed. And out of nowhere, bad luck strikes again. I hear some guy yelling at the top. And it happened to be, we're in this area where they're doing a lot of gas lines and stuff. And there's a gas line worker a couple hundred yards away yelling to get the attention of one of his other co-workers. That spooked the deer, blew them right out of there, and there went my chance, right out the door. Really, it was more of this stuff the whole trip. Just one hiccup after another. I should have zigged when I zagged. I should have zagged when I zigged. And I was missing opportunities by splitting hairs, which made for a really fun hunt. I mean, we had a lot of action, but I just couldn't get it done with the bow.
Often people say to me, "Oh, you TV guys have it easy." All I can do is smile. Not many people know what goes into doing what I do. It's a lot of hard work on and off season. I spend countless hours training, preparing, and studying my sport. So I don't like leaving anything to chance. That's why I surround myself with the best companies and tools, like my Chevy Silverado. Whether I'm training for a hunt, scouting, or getting back into the deep country to chase the big boys, it's with me every step of the way. I'm John Stallone, professional hunter, and Chevy Silverado is my truck. And my home dealer is Van Chevrolet.
We're gonna do a little practice session here. One of the things that I like to do is, especially getting closer to season, you know, you've been practicing all season long, and you know, you got your rig dialed in. What I like to do is I like to go out to the range and I like to shoot 1 or 2 arrows. What I do is I go to my furthest range or my furthest pin, which for me is 80 yards right now on this bow. Basically, if you're gonna shoot at a deer at 80 yards or an elk or whatever it is at 80 yards, you gotta be able to make the shot first time. You don't get an opportunity to go out and warm up and practice or whatever. You don't start at 20 yards when you get to the field and then work your way back. So the idea is to get used to just going out, walking out to 80 yards, turn around, take your shot. And if you're accurate that way, then you can take you know, an 80-yard shot in the field and feel good about it. So let's get this set up. So basically what I'm getting at is if you can't make a kill shot on your first try at every pin on your longest pin rather, or every pin for that matter, on your bow, whatever you can make a kill shot on, that's the pin, that's your effective range. So we're gonna walk out here. You can see this is a range that I shoot on all the time. We got this staked out. Here. This is our 80 yard. And, we got a 3D target down at the end here. That one that I just set up. So we're going to double check, make sure that this thing didn't move. 80 yards on the money. Looks like a dead deer to me. Let's walk up there and check that. Now we're doing this kind of in real time, so I don't get any of those, oh, that was, you know, film magic or whatever. So it's a little slow, I apologize. We're just kind of going as it goes here. I basically call this first shot pin checking. So whatever you can make your first shot, that's the distance that your effective range is. And as you can see, that's a heart-lung shot, and that's a dead deer. That's a recoverable deer, and pretty darn good penetration with this chill R and gold tip arrow combination. I'm really loving it. So check to see what your first shot is, and that's your effective range. If you go out and you go to 60 yards and you need to warm up to actually get on at 60 yards or 70 or 80, 90, 100, whatever it is that you think you can shoot out to, you got to rethink that and just shoot what you can make on your first shot, cold, straight out the box. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you out in the field. Really, it was more of this stuff the whole trip. Just one hiccup after another. I should have zigged when I zagged. I should have zagged when I zagged, and I was missing opportunities by splitting hairs. Well, that was fun. When we got there, he wasn't there anymore. So now we're doing the walk of shame. And then my brain went into, oh, I can make that shot mode. And really what we should have did was back out, come back around and head over the top of this and shoot down at them. But, you know, that's what happens. You make some bad decisions and, you know, you get busted. So. Well, we made a play for that buck. Unfortunately, he fed off before we got to where we thought we could intercept him. It took us a lot longer to get down than they were expecting. We ran out of light.
best thing. That's the small buck. Different small buck. So Levi went to go get Frank while I was watching this young buck. And then I just happened to look down at the bottom, and there came up a big buck. And he was feeding up this bottom of this canyon bottom here. And I didn't get the camera out in time to get a video of him. On our way down to him, we just busted a smaller buck. Oh man, he's just out of range. 117 yards. This one over here is bigger. He's alive.
We live to fight another day, I guess. He didn't know we were in there, and hopefully we'll get on him tomorrow morning. So what we're doing is we're looking for some deer sound.